Today is going to be a little bit different because it's just going to be me, my phone, and the Polytunnel. Hey everyone, how's it going and welcome back. This week I had planned on not publishing a video at all, partly because I was going to take a break because it takes quite a while to film every episode, and also because I had a lot to do in here in the Polytunnel. As you can see, it is still an absolute jungle, but that jungle has now gone from just being really productive and nice to really slowing down. Things are starting to get a bit diseased because they're getting old, and it's time for a clear out. And really I was just going to get on with the clear out on my own. And then I thought, if I don't film it, then the next time that we're in here filming, it's going to be completely different and empty. And I won't have been able to really give you, I suppose, some of the highlights of what's been happening in here over the last couple of months, some of the great harvests and some of the failures as well. So we're going to go really quickly around the Polytunnel and I'll show you what's been going on. Okay, so first up, let's talk about my, well, unexpected success, which has been my chilies this year. Now, I've never grown chilies before, and I wasn't really too sure what to expect. I've seen other people growing them, and I wasn't sure whether I would have any success, but they've been absolutely brilliant. Now, behind me, these are my Serrano Peppers, and actually they have only started to really nicely ripen and turn red recently. They produce these lovely little really hot peppers, which I'm delighted about. So I'm going to keep these plants in for another few weeks and let them finish ripening up, because there are loads of really nice little green fruit that are still to come, but they're doing brilliantly. But the real stars of the show are further back, and they're my Cayenne Peppers. So behind me, these unassuming chili plants are my Cayenne Peppers, but don't be fooled, they have just been the absolute stars of the show this summer. I didn't know how many I would get. In the end, rather than counting them in numbers of chilies, it's easier to measure it by weight, because I've been getting bag after bag of Cayenne chili peppers, to the extent that I've actually now clocked up about 1.5 kilos of them. Now, I can't eat all of those chilies, so what I have done instead is cooked it down into this Thai sriracha. It is absolutely delicious. It'll blow your head off, it's really hot, but it is brilliant. So I'm going to keep making that through the autumn, because all of these are going to have to get stored in the fridge or go in the freezer. Again, a bit like the Serrano Peppers, there's still plenty more fruit to go, so although the plants are getting really pretty floppy and a bit messy, well, I'm going to keep them, see how many more fruit I can get to ripen, and then they'll be coming out. These chilies, however, well, they are a different story. As you can see, they have completely flopped. No matter how hard I work to keep them staked, they keep flopping. These are my Spangles Twilight Chilies, and they come in these amazing different colours. Now, they start out white. Whoops, I've dropped it. They start out white, then they develop into this lovely sort of mottled purple, then they change towards yellow, and in fact you can see there's a yellow one just in there, and then finally they ripen to red. But there's the problem. This is the one red one that I can spot at the minute, and the rest really haven't done much. I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep them, because they really are in the way. They're really messy and they're really kind of tangled. And what I have is a whole lot of unripe fruit, and the weather's starting to get cooler. So I think they might be going. The tomato jungle this year has been absolutely incredible. 36 plants of all sorts of different varieties, from little cherry ones that you can still see on the vines to big beefsteak tomatoes like this. They have been brilliant. I did plant them very close together, which meant that there's been a lot of work to try and keep the airflow good and keep the side shoots pinched out. But now it is time for them to go. They are getting really tatty. I've noticed that blight is kicking in. So today I'm stripping off all of the good fruit, and then the plants are going. But that is going to be no mean feat, because I don't know if you can see behind me quite how tall they are. They've hit the top of the Polytunnel, and because I didn't cut out the tips, I thought I could get a few extra tomatoes by leaving them to grow on. Well, what's actually happened is, look at that. Ah! There's this absolutely huge mess above me. So all of that's getting cut out, and that's going to create so much more space and light. But The amount of tomatoes I have got this summer has just been staggering. I have had tomatoes to eat fresh for months. I have bags and bags of them frozen, which I haven't got cooked into tomato sauce yet, and there's still more to get stripped off, but I am really delighted with them. Now, it has not all been successful. Let me introduce you to one of the biggest failures in the veg garden in Polytunnel this year, and it's these behind me. These are my aubergines. Now, I sowed these back in January. We're now in October. They've had 9 months of TLC, of being looked after, and unfortunately, they have produced a grand total of 0 fruit. And not only 0 fruit, not even little small embryonic fruits, they just haven't done. And if anything, you can see that all they are is a bunch of plants that have really brown leaves and they're just not doing. So they're going to come out. Now, I know that it was a risk to try and grow aubergines from seed. They're not always successful, and certainly in Ireland we generally don't have great climate conditions for them, even in a polytunnel. I'm not going to be deterred. I'm going to try them again next year, but yes, not a success this year. And the other thing that has been a success and a failure is this. Can you see this massive undifferentiated patch of green? These were originally my cucumbers, my crystal lemon cucumbers and my regular Market Moor cucumbers. They were strung up to the ceiling and they were doing really nicely, but I planted a lot of them. They got very heavy, and then the twine snapped one day recently, and look, they've literally collapsed to the ground. And what I now have is this massive mound of cucumber plant that is completely impenetrable. I've harvested everything I can off them, but it's time for them to go. They have given me such a laugh though, because although it's been a failure in terms of how they've actually grown in the polytunnel, like look how messy that is. Well, despite that, we have actually got a huge number of cucumbers off it. Loads of cucumbers, so many that I've had to give them away to the neighbours, and loads of crystal lemon cucumbers as well. They have just been brilliant. Strawberry patch next, and about a month ago I did a video on propagating your strawberry runners. Well, mine have just been clipped off. They are all looking really good, and my plan is that next year this entire bed behind me is going to be a strawberry patch with my 2 different types of strawberries. But what is great is I've had a lot of success in propagating more, which is what I need to fill that space. But that's really it. These are just doing their thing, and that's all they need to do. But I've saved what I think might be my biggest success until last, because if you watch my monthly seed sowing videos, you'll know towards May and June I sowed some Gallia Melons. Now, this was because I knew that they could be sown then, but I really didn't have any faith that I was going to have success, particularly in our climate. Well, if you didn't see my Instagram story from a couple of weeks ago, here is the news. Gallia Melons. This is the 4th one that I've had. Beautifully ripe. Not too bad in size, quite small, but most importantly, the taste. Oh my, the taste is just out of this world. And really, to have something like that is grown at home, that you really don't expect to be able to grow at home and that you don't have to buy from the supermarket, is just so special. We have been enjoying these over the last couple of weeks. Now, I still have a couple of very small ones on a different plant, but at this time of the year, I think it's unlikely that they're going to ripen. I'm not going to pull the plants out in sheer hope that we might get something, but that means that this half is the last half of this year's melon harvest. But to say I'm delighted that I've managed to get melons is an understatement. It's just so good. Now, how was that for a super quick, super impromptu, filmed on an iPhone update? Hopefully you've enjoyed it. It makes it a lot easier for me this week to just be able to get on with everything that needs to get done here, but at the same time be able to document all of the good things and the bad things, so that rather than me talking through the year about things that you can sow and things that you can grow and then not actually showing you the end outcome, at least I've been able to show you that end outcome. But for me, I now need to spend the next few days totally clearing this out, because we're going to be planting it up with all of the winter crops now, and we can get growing even more. So, as ever, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and also the bell icon. And until next time, see you later.